Hello YouTube, this is Travis Stone with MDL, and this is my vlog for April 16th, 2016. Looking forward to today, even though I'm technically working. I got a few more hours yet before I'm off of work. But later today, me and my stepdad are finally going to get together, take the bikes out and get some miles in. Or as some people like to call, wind therapy. And I've talked before in previous vlog, my stepdad, obviously had a bike. We only had a chance to ride one time last year, just for different reasons. And then he purchased another bike here recently, and I'm looking forward to getting to spend some time with him, put some miles on the bike, and getting a chance to ride the bike. I haven't even actually seen it face to face. So. Really looking forward to that. And honestly, I'm kind of surprised the weather has held out the way it has. I mean, literally, it's went from this to 74 degrees in the course of a week. So, huge difference in weather, but they always say in Ohio, if you don't like the weather, wait 10 minutes, it'll probably change. And last week we literally had, well, I say last week, figuratively, my last week. We literally had rain, sleet, snow, warm, cold, hail. I mean, it was literally just a gambit in the course of just a few days. And just kind of crazy how, how the weather likes to change around here. But, it's El Nino. But, so anyway, the bike has all been cleaned. It's ready to go. I just got to throw the saddlebags back on it. I cleaned those up, over the last couple of days, and, got everything ready to go. So I just got to throw it on, fire it up, and put my riding stuff on and go. And I'm, like I said, I'm hugely looking forward to doing that. I've been looking real hard at the windshield. I've been talking about it in my last couple of vlogs. I'm looking really, really close at the Harley Sport windshield. It is a handlebar mount windshield. It's not real big, which is, I don't really want a big one. I just want one big enough. I kind of want a batwing fairing, but unfortunately those are just ridiculously expensive. And, so I'm looking at the Harley Sport windshield. It's about $170. So it's fairly affordable. And, but I just don't know if it will fit my bike with particular risers that I have, because obviously I don't have stock handlebars or stock risers. So I'm not 100% sure that it will fit. But I'll keep looking and see. I need to go over to the Harley dealer, see if they actually have one on a bike, and see what it looks like, and get a feel for how it will fit and what the tolerances are. So, gosh, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, I also managed to, here in the last week, I purchased a second SSD for my desktop. Nemesis is, for anybody that, if I refer to Nemesis, I'm talking about my personal computer. And I had a OCC ARC 100, 240 gigabyte hard drive SSD, and good drive, solid drive, no complaints there. But recently, in the last few months, Toshiba purchased OCZ, and I've been noticing that the stock had dwindled. And because I've been watching prices, I'm always looking to see, when a good deal comes along. And I saw that they had one left of that model, and I'm like, I really shouldn't spend the money, but one left, and I knew at some point I was going to need more regular hard drive space. And I hadn't quite reached that yet, but I was getting close to where I was about to make that decision. And I was just like, my two choices was either get a bigger SSD and spend the money I would spend for, 480 or bigger, or get a second drive, put it in RAID 0, and get that performance boost. And that's what I did. So I bought it, threw it in, set up my first RAID 0. I've never had a RAID in any machine I've ever done, and got 480 gigabytes. And so far, it's been running real good. And I'll probably sit down and talk about, RAID configurations and things like that, and talk about how that kind of setup works. But that'll be a different video. So also because of the ride, I had recently talked about my $50 action camera that I had bought. It was an okay camera. It wasn't the best video quality. Didn't have the best image stabilization, but it was $50. If I broke it, wasn't that big of a deal. Well, the last few times that I have used it, just playing around with it, because I haven't really got to play with it, and well, it pretty much had, I won't say stopped working, but like all the video had nasty pixelation. So like in this video, you can kind of see there's a little bit of a halo of like light colored, like all the edges would have these just nasty, gnarly pixelation. Clouds would have this ugly pixelation, and it was not something that it had ever done before. And at first I thought it was a memory card. I put a different memory card in it. Nothing. It still did it. And so it got chucked in the trash. Probably should have just taken it apart for the sake of taking it apart, but I was just pissed off at it, so I tossed it. Just so happened, and I'd been talking about getting a GoPro, and I had even told the wife, about having to throw it away, and she was kind of like, I told her, I said, it wasn't really what I wanted. I wanted a GoPro, and she had made a comment, so, well, just buy what you want and don't tell me what you spent on it. Guess what I did? I did what she told me to, and she still yelled at me for it. So I got a GoPro Hero Plus. I know she doesn't watch the vlog, so I'll tell you what I spent. It was $150 at Walmart, which is a good price. Now, unfortunately, these ones take great video. Obviously, it's GoPro, but this does not have a removable battery, but it is Wi-Fi, so you can hook it up to an app on your phone and whatnot. And really, really looking forward to taking some video. I've been wanting one of these for a while. But I just couldn't justify the $200 price tag for this particular model. And being almost $50 off, and I knew I had read an article somewhere, and I could be wrong. It could have been a total fluke article. I had read somewhere that GoPro was doing away with this particular line, the lower end of these lower end models. So they're finally starting to go on sale. So I picked one up. I could possibly pick up another one in the near future. But I had to search around to find one of these in stock. They're obviously being on sale. People are selling them or picking them up left and right, and I don't blame them. Consider these hardly ever go on sale. And I've got to get some proper mounts to mount it on a couple different places, like on my bike, and I've got to get a tripod mount so I can put it on the suction cup that I have for the windshield. But I've been playing around a little bit with it, just clipping it on a thing that I have in my windshield, and so far I'm liking the video, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be taking this with me this weekend. I've got to put a new sticky mount on my windshield, or windshield on my helmet that I have my old setup on, so I'll be doing that probably this morning, or probably when I first get up. I'll probably do it before I lay down, so give it a chance to set properly on the helmet. And this is the one that shoots 1080p, 60 frames a second, and you really need that for action. And I don't understand why we don't see 120 1080p. Some reason that's some magical thing that can't be done. I mean, even big DSLRs, for some reason, have a hard time getting the 60 frames a second. I don't know really why that's an issue. Even this camcorder does 60 frames a second. This does 60 frames a second. I don't understand why. 120 would be perfect action camera. It's probably a processing power thing because of all that type of stuff, but I think it would be great if they could do an actual 120 frames per second in a 1080p, or 4K would be great, but 1080p would be definitely a huge improvement. So moving on, I recently saw the Ratchet and Clank cartoon movie trailer, and I wish I could show you the trailer and talk about it, but I don't want to get hit for copyright. But I will tell you that it looks just like a Ratchet and Clank video game, which is one of my favorite PlayStation games. And it's coming to the big screen here in just a couple of weeks. I think the April 29th, I think, is the tentative date for the movie. and I'm pretty sure I'm going to take the kids and go see it. I think it'll be a fun movie. Obviously, I've played lots of the video games over the years, and that should be fun. We've also been seeing some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie trailers, and I'm more excited about this one than I was the previous one. Obviously, I grew up in the 80s and early 90s, so the original Ninja Turtle movie has a special place in my heart. And but in the same boat, we're getting to see a live action Bebop and Rocksteady, almost cartoon style in live action. I'm hoping the CG is going to be good. It looks pretty decent on the trailer, but it can always be a little fooling depending on how the final product ends up. But man, it's going to be a lot of fun to see those two interact with the turtles, and that's for me classic cartoon characters, and I didn't think they would ever actually do that in a live action. And then Stephen Amell, I think that's how you pronounce this. I watch Arrow. I love him on Arrow. I think he's going to be great at playing Casey Jones. He doesn't have what I think the bulkier build that Casey Jones does, but he's still going to be great at playing Casey Jones. Unfortunately, when I say this, certain stereotype that he's playing in Arrow kind of fits pretty close with Casey Jones, but I'm looking forward to that. He's a great actor, and for him to get to go from TV to movie and do the things that he does, I think it's going to be awesome. I think, and he said he really enjoyed the movie, and like I said, I'm looking forward to it. Coming in June, I think. We also got an early trailer-ish for Gears of War 4. I played through Gears 1, 2, and 3. I didn't play Judgment Day, whatever the kind of middle one that got kind of crappy reviews. I never did play that one. But I did play the first 3 games. I loved it. I thought it was probably one of the best duck and cover shooters. And it had a really awesome multiplayer. The third one wasn't to me as good as the other 2, but still an awesome game to play. And then this trailer had Disturbed's version of Sound of Silence, and right now that's like my favorite song. I literally crank it up every time I hear it on the radio. I'm constantly just flickering it up on YouTube or whatever and listening to it. It's just, for some reason, that song just hits me in the right note. And and this game's sounds like it's gonna be centered around the son of Marcus Phoenix, which was the protagonist from the first 3 games. And so I'm kind of curious to see what direction they go in the game, but it should be good. Like I said, the last 3 major ones will be good. The mediocre one, the Judgment Day, God, I don't think it was called Judgment Day. It's called Judgment something, I think. Like I said, it got kind of really crappy reviews, so I'm really hoping this one's going to be good. Multiplayer beta is actually, I think, supposed to be starting this weekend, and I'll probably do that Sunday night playing some. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. I did also pick up, it's shipping from Amazon. I had to do an Amazon order, so I picked up a couple little BS things. I picked up a couple more lab mics, and I picked up a Genesis USB controller to go with my Nintendo USB controller I already have. So got to get an SNES, an actual Atari joystick controller, and I'll be honest, I'll probably end up getting an N64 controller later, but it's kind of one of those, we'll see how it goes. I've been trying to put together a retro console. The machine I really wanted to use, I'm having issues with. I have no idea why. I have a feeling it has something to do with the video processing and because I've changed out the processors in that system. So more than likely, I put together a bigger system. It's not what I want, and I may end up trying to build another smaller system, but because I kind of want not only a retro console, but I'd like to have a good media machine where I can keep all my actual like favorite movies and stuff like that, and have a place to to properly do Netflix on the TV and play. I actually like to put a DVD or a Blu-ray player in it and let it do Blu-rays and all that stuff, and just have one little mini desktop to do it all, if you will. And I know I kind of chronicle once I get all that settled down and talk about that in another video, obviously. So at least for right now, that's all I have. I know this is a bit of a short vlog from what I've been doing. I'll have some more to talk about, obviously, after my ride today. So I hope everybody has a great week. I think this is going to be the start of a great week for me. If you're a rider, stay safe. Please, if you're driving around, watch out for motorcycles. They are all over the place. They were all over the place today. And, there's nothing worse than to hear that another person died in a car, from a car striking a motorcycle. Something I think about every time I get on that bike. But, riding a motorcycle is very therapeutic and very fun. And it is a sport, and I understand why people call it a sport. So ride safe, have fun, and we'll catch you in the next video. Later.